Pamucho, much make kasa.
Patron.
Okay, yo. You nyame ase sɛ na nnwumere so wayɛ adom na wɔde yɛn nyinaa asa aba bɛhyia biom na yɛba bɛtie yɛpɔ mu ho nsɛm ɛfiri Dr. Opoku-Gyamfi hɔ. Na ansa na yɛbɛhyɛ aseɛ no, yɛbɛma yɛn nuabaa Sylvia abɔ mpaeɛ na wɔde dwuma yi ɛhyɛ Onyankopɔn nsa ama yɛn.
Patron, your bonfire. Nyame tumfuo ene enyumre nso woma yeda wase. Yɛhyɛ odin kronkron animuonyam yɛma wo so ɛtwentwem efisɛ oni yɛn adi ne yie wɔ akwanyiasa nyinaa mu. Aseda ɛmfa ɔdɔba Yesu Kristo so ɛnka wo din efisɛ sɛ ne fata wo. Yɛda wase nkwa a wode ama yɛn, yɛda wase abusua a yɛwɔ, yɛda wase mframa a yɛhome, agya nnuane a yɛdi a yɛfa yɛn ho dida aseda ɛmfa ɔdɔba Yesu Kristo so ɛnka wo din. Yɛsrɛ wo ɛna nnwumere yi nso wo ma yɛabɔ w'anim. Hu yɛn mmɔbɔ fa bɔne ne mmaratoɔ nyinaa ɛkyɛ. Na mmerɛ a yɛhyia mu wɔ wo nan ase yi, nnepa a wɔ ma yɛn nyinaa no ma yɛn nsa ɛnka. Yɛda wase. Wodwen yɛn ho bebree nti mpo nea ɛbɛboa yɛn ɛma yɛn pɔmuden akɔ so yie na yɛatena so wɔ asase so ahyɛ odin kronkron animuonyam. Na botan nti a wode yɛba asase yi so yɛayɛ ahyɛ onyame din kronkron animuonyam no, da biara wode ma yɛn wokaaka yɛn. Nanso anwummere yi, wonam doctor so de brɛ yɛn. Yɛsrɛ wo ka doctor ho ma ne nsɛm mmra yɛn nkyɛn. Siesie yɛn akoma ne yɛn adwen mmerɛ a yɛtie na ma yɛn mu ahoɔden na yɛnyɛ nhyɛ onyame din kronkron animuonyam. Na mpo yɛtumi aka akyerɛ afoforɔ na wɔn nso atena ase anaasɛ wɔadi saa nsɛm no so ama wɔn apɔmuden akyɛ ahyɛ onyankopɔn din kronkron animuonyam anaasɛ ayɛ neɛ ɛsɛ. Yɛda wase ɛnɛ anwummere yi o, yɛsrɛ wo. Obi biara wɔ hɔ biara nso a ɛwɔ sɛ ɔba bɛtie w'asɛm ɛsɛ sɛ ɔbɛkae saafoɔ no nyinaa na waboaboa yɛn nyinaa yɛano ɛwɔ wo nan ase na mmerɛ a wo nsɛm bɛkɔ awieeɛ no na ɛnam wo ho kronkron so nti no yɛtumi na yɛnya mu ahoɔden ayɛ ahyɛ onyame din kronkron animuonyam. W'ani adom pii na woma yɛsrɛ wopɛ ɛnyɛ hɔ ma yɛn ɛnɛ anwummere yi ne daaka nyinaa wɔ ɔdɔba Yesu Kristo din mu nti amen.
Amen. I'm Sylvia, that was a brain. I mean, sure, papa. I'm say, Enra, Doctor Ne, share addition as no, say, what church, Nama be brave, and Jidi say, yes, yeah, and I say, Nema tea, and you did be brave, a juma. Enra, shall see, no, or the shall see, war nutrition secrets. What kind of say nutrients, what can be carbohydrates, etc. Wɔkyerɛ yɛn kwan bebree ɛfa so a yɛnya carbohydrates na afei ɛboa yɛn nipadua no ɔka biribi fa protein ho ɔka biribi nso fa vitamins ɔka biribi fa fat ne nneɛma bebree na ɛnɛ nso deɛ no Nyankopɔn yɛ adom a ɔba bɛtoa so na wato ne din sɛ wɔsɛ movement is medicine nti anwummere nso so yɛbɛtie doctor na nea ɔwɔ no ɔno yɛ ama yɛn nti yɛn nyinaa bɛyɛ aso na ansa na doctor ba bɛkasa no ɛm sɛ yɛn nua Sabato bɛto nnwom kakra ɛde ama yɛn na ɔto nnwom no wie a ɛne a yɛbɛteɛ no ɛfiri Dr. Martin Opoku-Gyamfi hɔ ɛda mo ase bebree. Okay. I'm say in nua Sabato ni hɔ deɛ a ɛnna ɛyɛ nsɛmmerɛ bebree no yɛbɛma doctor atoa so ɛde ama yɛn nti Dr. Gyamfi yɛbaakyɛw ɛkwan abie ɛda hɔ nom nti ɛsrɛw di anim a yɛwɔ ɛda wase.
Yo, Nana, watching that's it. And yes, start so yeah, that's it. New pay album mine. Abusuafo yi de nyame ase na nso biem sa yɛ ne fɛ na ɔama yɛ ahoɔden ɔde akɔ yɛ nnwuma so na ɔsa de aba bɛduru fie asomdwem yɛtoa yɛde sua no so a ɛyɛ na ɔtwe mu no na mewɔ announcement bi a mepɛ sɛ meyɛ nim sɛ mpanimfoɔ bɛma ho kwan a yɛhwɛ yɛ program no a topics no a mede baeɛ no The last one, let me say from fatigue to flourish. Na se a bit me nka mepɛ sɛ mɛse sano no kakra. Na enra me bo topic bi din say protein, the good, the bad, the ugly. Na me de no moma bɛhyɛ hɔ. Just because say enra no me who say me start the secrets of nutrition, when protein as me be kese pa na me hwɛ practice medical practices ya really bebree na ɛkɔ so no. Me fapem no protein na ya abuse protein intake no. Nti me gidi say the secrets of nutrition hyɛ na me the protein, the good and the bad, the ugly, need to us etwa to a rounding it up perfectly. Nti no say en hadwen a mepɛ sɛ mɛyɛ saa nsakraeɛ no na aboa yɛn ama yɛtumi ayɛ anya nneɛma bi a ɛne sɛ mepɛ sɛ yɛnya. Nti saa nso a yɛbɛtumi atoa so sɛnea yɛayɛ no na nyamboa akyiri na kwan bɛ mu a na yɛayɛ that lecture no another day. Nti deɛ mpanimfoɔ bɛka biara no it's okay with me. Namase. Movement is medicine. My first question na me wo ma yɛ nyinaa ɛne sɛ yɛ mu dodoɔ sɛn ɛna yɛ gidi anaasɛ yɛate da sɛ exercise ɛyɛ ma yɛ. Me gidi sɛ obiara ma ne nsa so baabi obiara. The next question na maybe sa no sɛ ɛne sɛ yɛ nyinaa yɛ gidi sɛ anaasɛ yɛate da sɛ exercise yɛ ma yɛ a yɛ mu dodoɔ sɛn na yɛwɔ a plan in place ɛboa yɛn ma yɛtumi nya about 30 to 60 minutes of exercise every day. Yɛ mu dodoɔ sɛn na yɛwɔ plan bi saa. Saa question we dey be maybe say biara no the response no is almost the same. First question obiara ma ne nsa so. And so second question no di bo say nipa kakra bi wo hwɛ auditorium no ma na say baabi a wo say be less than 10% ɛna ma yɛ nsa so. Nti no anwummerɛ yɛ ka sɛ movement is medicine a me goal ne sɛ by the end of nan mewie no na matumi a convince obiara sɛ unni a plan ɛbɛboa wa ma watumi anya 30 to 60 minutes every day of exercise a sɛ woyɛ den wohyɛ aseɛ ɛyɛ bi. Ɛno ɛne me goal objective anwummerɛ sɛ matumi a convince wo ama wahu no hia ɛho hia sɛ yɛnya a plan in place for exercise. The entire way yɛte saa no sɛ nhwehwɛmu ahodoɔ akyerɛ sɛ nnipa bebree wɔ hɔnom a wɔn ɛnyɛ exercise. Ɛna exercise nso a nnipa bebree ɛnyɛ no ɛde yareɛ bebree ɛna ɛba. Deɛ ɛteɛ ne sɛ sesia no because of civilization ne anibea kɔ n'anim nti no enyuma no a ɛba ne nyinaa no aba abɛyɛ more of an office type sedentary type sɛ wɔkɔtena ase wɔkɔtena desk akyi. Na nansi a covid baa yɛ free time a covid baa yɛ koraa deɛ ɛnea bɛka n'akyiri koraa. Ɛfiri sɛ nnipa no bebree wɔ hɔ nom a covid baa yɛ no wɔn businesses ne wɔn companies wɔn yɛ adwuma wɔ mu no ɛma wɔn kɔ offline anaasɛ wɔn kɔ out of office type of job, remote type of jobs bebree da so wɔ remote mu sisi a ebinom kɔ back deɛ ba dodoɔ naa bebree no ɛda so ɛwɔ remote. Enti no covid after covid no the sedentary lifestyle na bɛyɛ even worse than it was before. It ama problems na ɛyɛ associated with that no kwaa na ɛkɔ so. Na ɛno no ɛna nhwehwɛmu wei saa research yi ɛyɛ before covid. Nti before covid no na research ne say wohwɛ wiase nyinaa adults anaasɛ mpanimfoɔ emu 23% ɛna nkwaraa nso 81% ɛnya enough physical activity. Now, saa definition of physical activity na very, very liberal according to that research. And yes, be a wokɔ gym and also kwakoye adwuma kɛseɛ bi. Emo wɔn de nanteɛ kakra yi kura leisure walking no kura ɛka ho. Nti sɛ yɛka sɛ yɛka no kura paa number no bɛyɛ worse than 23% in adults and 81% in children. Nkwadaa no bebree say tablets, any phone, any computers nti bebree no ɛnyɛ exercise bi. Na deɛ ɛma ne yɛ ehu kura ka ho no ne sɛ in addition to the problem of not moving enough, enough physical activity, no, ye nnwuma no bebree no sɛ sɛ akɔyɛ yɛte hɔnom ɛna yɛsa ahwɛ screen. Nti asɛ yɛ mu bebree no yɛkɔn etimi assume a fixed position bi sɛ ya for maybe 8 hours. Ni nyinaa no ɛnyɛ good for health. Now research now ɛka the same thing sɛ 23% of adults and 81% of children ain't enough physical activity. No. So our research now say because of that, you know, so I really you know screen is coso cardiovascular diseases, cancer, type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, anxiety, and depression. I really be a coso because of lack of physical activity. In some case, movement is medicine. Na movement na medicine no medicine in the sense say prevention is always better than cure. And an ounce of prevention is better than a ton of cure. If you say you and take preventive measures, you really bet me a boy and found dear ye yentimi and some reverses I really be. It did not too late. Meanwhile, so it take us a lot of trouble, a lot of man hours, a bit wasted, a lot of money, a lot of anguish on yourself and on your family members. It is not. It's most of the time, no, yeah, and you're worth that trouble. Meanwhile, you take a few steps here. A bit me boy, am I reversing? Enti, you better and who ask some neaka. You better abasa we isu ebiem actually. Nti de sesi idea yɛnkɔ yɛnim na yɛnhwɛ biribi kakra a ɛbɛboa yɛn ama yɛhu the reason why movement ɛyɛ medicine. Yɛbɛhwɛ the benefits. Na benefits ɛdeɛ ɛmɛ mɛka no yɛn nyinaa yɛ to say exercise but ɛnɛ yɛbɛhwɛ no in a different direction, different angle bi a you have never thought of exercise that way. Na me gidi say yetie ni here at the end of the day no nyina be yes plan na ebe boy am yetime nya 30 minutes at least of exercise every day. Enti movement, what type of movement you want some yaking? Ebetimi aye nantie, ebetimi aye so ride a bicycle, and na say utumrika, and na say be power type of exercise. So we are triathlon or ye nyina boom. Utumrika or ride a bike and also nanti bi kra or you say be swimming kra eka home. And fahu what type of movement are ubetimi. The best and the only important thing is just move. Just move, no excuses. And no one ask them and a year back. The first benefit a year exercise so who a movement, a medicine, no, a improved circulatory system. Because improved circulatory system, no, a yakuma any your blood vessels in tinia horror emoja and no any your friend circulatory system and as a cardiovascular system. The exercise improve. A quite by an exercise improve the circulatory system and as a cardiovascular system. Number one, improve a command one kasano na the strength of the heart. improve no what happens in say esa improve the flexibility and the nature of the blood vessels. Enti akoma no nkasa nya hoɔden ɛna blood vessels na emogya no ɛnam mu no nso nya hoɔden. Na ahoɔden a blood vessels no nya no yɛkasa blood vessel no nya hoɔden a ɛnyɛ sɛ ayɛ dendenden o. Na mmom no ayɛ very elastic. Emu ayɛ mmerɛ, emu ayɛ ha. Biribiara sradeɛ bi ana mu. Enti no sɛ akoma no bɔ mu a emu tumi bie kama ɛma emogya no fam. That ɛno na yɛ a sign of a healthy blood vessel. Healthy blood vessel no very very elastic. Just say emutimi bie say emre emutimi bie say bie na emutimi bie na emutimi saa eka to time I say mukato. Etimi ebie ma emogya no ebesen. And a blood vessel any healthy no stiff. Aye stiff, aye din aye posi so pressure no cause kakra bi kra etimi pai. But research actually says we exercise improve no. Na die nti na basa. Die nti basa no say wo hwe blood vessel yi a wo say we has a blood vessel a tube a yetwam. Etwam mienu. Emfifin ha say no. Emfifin honom no. As a lining bi wom. Te said the carpet as a form no. Nti lining bi wo blood vessel no mu a your friend endothelial cells. Na sa endothelial cells no it is a factory. Na no na say enye healthy a blood vessel no nye healthy. Because no healthy a produce nitric oxide. Sa chemical na say sa nitric oxide na is a gas bi. Etimi ebie blood vessel no mu. Ema blood vessel no flexible. Ema blood vessel no emu no healthy. Enya nice color, nice pink structure. Na se sa endothelial cells no say enye healthy a etimi cause inflammation ewom. And as inflammation no etimi lead to bruises wom. Na bruises bi ekoso wo blood vessel no mu a na se dipadua no anye bibia amfa ho a wobetimi bleed through those bruises. It is said a kuro etututu wo blood vessel. Wobetimi bleed emoja betu ama wawu. Enti ebasa na ese se dipadua no ye bibi fa ho. Na die dipadua no ye ne se sa bruises na say nkutwa na atutu wo blood vessels no ehwo a ntɛntɛntɛntɛm na the cholesterol na the patching up. And the cholesterol patching up no na create bibi a your friend atherosclerosis. Na demu na afe blood vessel no na I to say the what the candle wax egu bibi mu na odi gu ho na odi gu ho bo se na wu ni na pose na tenten. Ekwan a cardiovascular disease start no no. Na research say exercise prevent that. The first one no a structural benefit. First benefit no structural akuma nankasa a structure no in na I will come back to that in a few minutes. And secondly no the structure of the blood vessel no so a healthier with exercise. But the second aspect of cardiovascular benefit of exercise and as a movement is the fact to say emoja na blood vessel no it has to flow. Say you fluid, say flow. Say and flow freely. A bit me aye akoda baby na aye a pi abe more viscous. Na emoja aye viscous no ebe predisposed to blood clots. Inti obi ohonom a onse da enye yare bia sa but say you can say yare we no one now say or yare we and so enam exercise all nti no ne blood no inflows and ye circle because all your exercise no akoma ni nya hoɔden papa no na blood vessels ni nya hoɔden no na ɛboa ma mogya no nso flow na epia mogya no ama mogya no flow yie ɛte sɛ nsuo sɛ wɔ river bi a ɛsɛ sɛ ɛtene na afei biribi aborɔko no biribi slow no down na afei bɛhu sɛ nsuo a ɛsɛ sɛ ɛtene no na afei ntumi ntene na afei ɛkɔ nyaa sɛ nsuo nso hu sɛ ɛtene na ɛtene ntɛntɛntɛntɛm a wobɛhu sɛ sɛ vapor water vapor bi ɛwɔ so etu ntutuo ɛyɛ sign of a healthy flowing stream anaasɛ river sɛ mflow yie a wobɛhu sɛ wohwɛ nsuo no ani a wobɛhu sɛ asɛ film bi da so asɛ wohwɛ no yie a wo sɛ asɛ yɛde rubber bi anaasɛ plastic bi asɛ nsuo no ani ɛno no ɛyɛ sign sɛ ɛtoa so saa solidification bɛhyɛ aseɛ take place nsuo no bɛhyɛ aseɛ sɛ efi no bɛhyɛ aseɛ sɛ ɛboaboa no ama nsuo no api something similar happens with the blood flow sɛ wonyɛ exercise enough a o blood no ntumi flow yie yɛwɔ good healthy flow bi a ɛsɛ sɛ kɔ so wɔ blood vessel sɛ ɛno no ankɔ so a you don't get that na deɛ nti a saa no esi no ne sɛ woanyɛ exercise no a endothelial cells na meka ho asɛm no a ɛwɔ blood vessels mu no ɛnyɛ healthy and sɛ endothelial cells no nyɛ healthy a inflammation ni bruising timi happen within the blood vessel and when that happens then cholesterol can come na other form of plaques our blood vessel to prevent bleeding and when that happens it is said here odi abo akoto nsuo no anafo it will create an obstacle and no and a slow blood flow it is a yes no and blood no just say a flow slowly a flow slowly na no and yet good for health the to some yensa ehwehwemu no ese sa endothelial cells ya no se are healthy let's say blood flow no so are healthier eboa ekwan ya nipadua no clean cholesterol every mogam wo se cholesterol no ye mu mienu ya wo de friend high density lipoprotein HDL na good cholesterol and ye what ba kwa ye friend LDL and I say low density lipoprotein and I say bad cholesterol in the HDL good cholesterol LDL bad cholesterol the entire friend is na say sa LDL no low density lipoprotein no a deposit cholesterol no inside your blood vessels and HDL no a clean blood vessel no and no a day cholesterol no free moja no called into the liver for processing. And the higher your HDL, no, the better the removal of cholesterol and fat from your blood into the liver for processing. Now, research actually say movement, your exercise, and no, any the only thing you need more increase your HDL. In this low HDL, that's a good cholesterol, no cholesterol, movement, any a drawer, exercise, any a drawer, a beboa, ama HDL cholesterol. Now, of course, where the aduane pack home, send you see an enrano. Into the aduane pa, aduane very high in bioflavonoids, any vitamin C. And we are high in bioflavonoids and vitamin C. Now the exercise can that combination and no any idea it me erase HDL cholesterol. And no we know me and so we any the first benefit and I said the cardiovascular or circulatory system benefit of movement. And nunti and I say movement is medicine. Something as simple as exercise, it save a ton of trouble as far as our cardiovascular system is concerned. Now that's not all. Once I can say movement, the akoma nankasa no healthy the muscle nankasa no healthy na ekwan a efa so healthy no na me be kire yemfa no say ya wakoma normal pulse rate no the case pulse rate so at rest ote ho ya oni adwuma ote ho din no ya hwe pulse usually ana ya so ha say o doctor ho ana o nurse ana se pharmacist ana say ya check wa ha pulse no a eno no a reflection of your heartbeat it akomani bom lubdup 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 na ebom no send pulse na eno no na you feeling wa ha as pulse no into the pulsations no a reflection of our heartbeat. It yemfa ne say wakoma no ebom 80 beats per minute at rest. Se sa beat ye ebom we say na ekre say 80 beats per minute no in a year akoma no ebom 42 million times. We know software na program na the you know a cut is zero from there into no zero back ewa ha. 42 million and 48,000 times a year and akoma no ebom. Now, so you can't say ya here and register papa. Every time our kuma no be bomo bia no, adwuma na akoma no ye. It is work. It is said ye yaka say dig trench to amna. Say every time I dey pickaxe no, and also the shovel no be see from bia no bam bia no kind say eno no your heartbeat back up. Boom. Loop to. It means that akoma no boom adwumaden saa 42 million and 48,000 times every year. That is say akoma no boom 80 beats per minute. The higher the beats, the higher this number. In this audio, you have 80 beats, now 90 beats, and not just audio no, yakobe 70, yakobe 60. 55, 60 million beats per year. But yemfa say, so 80 beats per minute, 42 million times a year, So we exercise. Let's say because of exercise nti wakoma no enya hoɔden na wakoma no well tuned, well conditioned. Na esote by 10 per about 70 beats per minute. Instead of 42 million beats per year, about 36 million beats per year. 36,792,000 beats instead of 42 million and 48,000 beats. Just by reducing your heartbeat from 80 beats per minute at rest to 70 beats per minute at rest. What that means in say, by that, look at Keno, we save Akumano 5,256,000 beats in 1 year. And that is how much work we save Akuman. And so we obia, we share heart rate in so health professionals and doctors never catch it all say that normal heart rate, normal beat between 60 and 100. 60, 65, low, no, very well conditioned athletes, athletes are condition, exercise, chair, no, no, heartbeat, no, at our form. And was towards 100, no, you poorly conditioned, entire exercise, sedentary, no, a beat, no, anything above 100, is considered tachycardia, not just a dangerous ground. And anything below 16, so a bradycardia, not just a cough from a slow akumana, you too slow. Yem penisa, a between 60 and 100. And what this means is a ubet me aye duma through exercise. I'm wakuma no ba do 16. To say 80. Eba 70, 80 me a save wakuma no 5 million beats. Let's just say who save who the buy from 70 to 60 year. What's that save another 5 million BM? It's basically a best save who buy 10,500,000 bits. That is a lot of cardiac work and as a heart worker. What this means is biologically no, and as a chronologically no, maybe I know the 60 years. But so you exercise physiologically speaking, and as a functionally speaking, no, wakuma ebe to say akuma a year 45 and as a 50-year-old akuma. Meanwhile, no the 60. And that is how come movement a medicine. And to think, say, cardiovascular disease and the #1 killer of men and women worldwide is the same. A no-brainer cry. A no-brainer. And as I say, you fast very, very serious. Because heart attack, cardiovascular disease, heart disease, and a #1 killer. It is a year wake a cray, na a bit yes, we yakuma, a juma, ama yakuma, then yiniache, na a prevent this area, adentina. Ye pincha yanasia, yempese, ye. In the movement is medicine. The first, no, any cardiovascular benefits of the heart. Now, akuma so a healthier, basically, no, nipeduani na ebe healthy because all your exercise, no, and yakuma no kwana be benefit. Your liver will benefit, your lungs will benefit, your muscles all throughout ebe benefit. And you bet me at or age, so physiological age. I'm another lower than your chronological age. See, if your date of birth, any birthday, a better higher than your physical age. And no, you person in benefit number 2, weight. Movement improve weight control. To say, weight loss industry, you're one of the most profitable industries in the world, and especially in the US. Now, one of the reasons, only because you move brain, you're very sedentary. You move brain, cry, you walk on my you walk down and you move brain, you're nanti. Now you're nanti. It means nanti kwa ya down for fear, it means nanti kwa park, it means nanti kwa ha. But you're about brocheno. Yet come, you come mailbox, who crab be at car money, you come mailbox. A serious. In the say, lifestyle, no. Abe so fast paced, you need time cry for anything. Yet come, you quiet park your car, no, you drew a juma, say, you call elevator, move straight near Cosro, near your desk. You back to the elevator to the car. You be fear, you be park your car, no, near Cotanasi. It is over and over and over and over and over. And no, and I contribute to our weight problem. And so all this aduane and right can want some can ho a bad carbs any processed foods no e can ho not just acquire to say you're burning the candle at both ends and no tin am weight problem aye kesi. Now research say movement exercise one of the things a bit me abo more control weight here. The first step of course healthy eating udidi. Now there is something going on when anybody be brave free say so me didi aduane boni na me koye exercise it will cancel it out. No. Research bia ni hono ma ekyeresa. Research kyeresa say udi aduane boni the effect of that food no untimi mfa exercise and cancel. The only part of aduane boni obetimi exercise cancel kakra any the caloric count no. It's okodi aduane e bia 200 calories and say udi. Now, exercise, I be a bit my any calories needy, a bit my any be 20 and 30 calories to be free. So, but the chemical effect of a drone, the physiological effect of the adrenal of adrenal inflammation, a whole raw inflammatory chemicals will be produced. No exercise be any hold my bit must stop with that. In this whole chemical be. Who be money be will be an my bit me a prayer, bit me a cause cancer, bit me a cause diabetes, it will cause problem untimi mfa exercise empepa nti no mo ma follow for that you say myth say oh I you know I cheated I ate yeah no more come over back clinic I had a mystery I say oh yeah I cheated I ate a big bowl of ice cream but you know I ran it off then I went on my treadmill and I did straight 1 hour of running but the good news no moment say if oh dear be healthier na ebia for X or Y reason where did the amana brosua na calorie count na kosoro na fat deposition na kosoro and you bet me burn some of that fat and some of that calorie away through exercise and a exercise if so aboa improve weight control no the second year kwanya if so improve weight control ni say oh yeah exercise optimize your muscles the muscles no optimize muscles no I'm a muscles no burn calories no for energy because muscles no here adwuma no nyina no here fuel here energy na dia adwuma enti energy no here no set the more we no na etwe carbohydrates no na etwe glucose no na etwe aduane no efi mogya no for energy enti no the better muscle coordination or muscle optimization you have the less calories become available for deposition as fat. It's simple. Entina, who says, oh yeah, obi exercise, obi exercise, or brea, or exercise. Ubon so muscles, so na say a tutu, emuya oya. A tutu ne muya oya. What is happening is muscle no I consume all the glycogen now was stored. And I can say the body stores glucose in the form of glycogen or muscles. It is how exercise. I was a muscle. No, say, oh yeah. What that means is the glycogen store na a woman no. I shall see a son. I shall see a son. I feel bones and muscle no. I shall see a could be a friend no. Anaerobic glycolysis. Anaerobic or you su ana oxygen level so called form kakra. International shall see a produce lactic acid. Lactic acid no and a deposit or muscles no more. I shall see a cause pain. Now exercise improves blood flow, improve supply of food to the muscles. It means prevented that. Into such as we are for Ubon say, the more we exercise, no, we to also day 2, day 3, first week, second week, third week. A fair back can not we exercise, until pain ibium, but it's our muscles now, all right. But until that pain ibium, it means now the muscles are becoming optimized. Now the energy utilization na akosoro into enough energy. Utimi draw enough food and enough oxygen from your blood for use. Now, sir, if that happens, it means not only your calf muscle and your 1 and 2 muscles and your muscles, but all the muscles in your body are benefiting. And that process, one of the processes leading to weight control. Amazing when you see sani juma efa. And nuntina as I say exercise and as a movement medicine. Number 3. Exercise improve mental performance. The entire research naturally said the more exercise you do, all your exercise now will stimulate chemicals via your friend say feel good hormones, chemicals be to say endorphins, and serotonin, dopamine, no na secrete the production of those because say who activate the brain centers now it produces our chemicals. Now the interesting as I say research and who na man here can say so who combine the account who some na good food based on mostly plants now going back to AD who combine and no with exercise and what ends up happening is a side they produce a good and healthy gut bacteria. Our friends say gut microbiome no. Now, so gut microbiome, say research actually say about 80% of the serotonin. Serotonin no and a feel good hormone no. Inti so be depressed a draw a tardy man no maybe a friend SSRIs. SSRI need na homa serotonin specific reuptake inhibitors. And no saying and no ye enro bi artificially no a block serotonin and many pebiano and absorb serotonin no. Inti na serotonin na wo mo no kosoro. Inti aduro no ye de man what it, the net effect and say a serotonin in the blood ekosoro. Meanwhile, research say 80% of all the serotonin in the body is synthesized in the gut. And exercise stimulates the synthesis of serotonin by the gut bacteria. In the exercise increasing mental performance, I don't know. What that means, say, so when you exercise more, you produce serotonin, you produce endorphins, you produce dopamine, into the a good mental state, a feel good, a into depression, into anxiety states, mood disorders. It is our honum, let's say, mentally, no, as a mental, say, yeah, your friend say brain fog, as a wild green in so, as the see, I know, if you have some own kite, papa, say, maybe you need to move more. And so chassis move more. So the beya ubetimia stimulate the production of serotonin, the production of endorphins, the production of dopamine. Na abwao ama wetimi I feel good. And I may say movement is medicine. Benefits number 4. And where you move no na build your immune system. Na no ekwan be na efa so esi. So move one blood flow na you can't want some say exercise improve blood flow no. And no the first reason why exercise benefit your immune system. Interest kakra. Say soldier for oman mu. Nese there is an emergency, there are enemy forces biaba. Na soldier for no barracks. Na SSS soldier for ni free barracks honum ekọ baby enemies no one ekọ fight you no attack you. Nese ya attempt so mo move akọ. Na armored trucks no any vehicles di ebekọ nyina no ne tires adwojo. Armored car no chain no ebubu a how can they move? And you may have the strongest military in the world, but if the military cannot move from point A to point B where their services is needed, you don't have a military. Immune cells now where your white blood cells no where your hemoglobin lymphocytes, neutrophils near the adena where your hemoglobin kutia yare no. So hemoglobin inflow year, which means and transport to omu year. And my immune system no enye optimized. Immune system no eni papa. Response time no enye the SSA. That is the first reason. In the exercise no improve the blood flow, and whenever blood flows emoji no the immune system cells no echo from point A to point B, and they are always available and ready to fight off invaders like bacteria, viruses, and other things. That is the first reason. The second reason, and then they say, all your exercise, and also make a wasn't is here. Now we improve bone health. We put some stimulus to be on your bones. What the stimulus to be a see bone so. And so anatomy 101 the lecturer will say blood, emoja, any immune system cells are made or synthesized within the bone marrow. You don't pay akesia no, your thigh muscles, your sere don't pay any young sa don't pay akesia the big bones na wo yimu no, your nine don't pay no, enum finfin na your friend say a sa dompe ne sa no bro for your friend marrow no honum and a blood cells and you synthesize in nipadua no as a factory. Now all your exercise now we move no now put pressure on that no now we stimulate those stem cells na e produce way, and therefore movement no eboama efficient produce more adwuma say and our face movement so aboa transport from point A to point B. Indeed, that's the fourth benefit why I say movement is medicine. Number 5, stronger bones. And no crowd me can CCR. Apart from say we stimulate bone marrow no the bone nankasa no so put stimulus be on it. Eboa no maninya hodin. Said ye onsa ɛda hɔnom na onyusu a na adwodwo no ayɛ mmerɛ na mmom woyusu a bo sɛ no wabuild muscle no saa bone no nso mmerɛ a woyusu na woputu pressure wɔ no so either sɛ wode nante ana biribiara no na ɛyɛ compact na ɛyɛ compact more ɛno nti ɛna ɛho hia sɛ yɛyɛ exercise nti strong bones sɛ wopɛ strong bones a ɛyɛ sɛ wo move, you got to move. All right, yɛbɛwie ɛne ɛsɛsia no recommendations ne deɛ recommendation ne sɛ ɛsɛ sɛ obiara wonya 30 to 60 minutes of aerobic exercise 5 to 7 days a week. Yɛka sɛ aerobic exercise ne deɛ exercise a woyɛ no abɔnten mframa mu outside open air exercise bi a ɔyɛ a ɛbɛma wakoma abom ntɛntɛm ɛbɛma mfifiri active. So nante sɛ wotu mirika sɛ ride bicycle sɛ woyɛ jump rope anaasɛ Ghana yɛsɛ skipping rope no that type of exercise ɛbɛma wo heart rate akɔ soro no ɛno no yɛfrɛ no aerobic exercise na ɛno no ɛsɛ ɔyɛ 5 to 7 times 5 days to 7 days within the week 30 minutes to 60 minutes every day. Now if you are why you strength building exercise twice per week, that's all you need. Strength building exercise no dey here. Push-ups. We push-ups. And also we gym. And also we use dumbbells no. Ebi awo wow gym o fi awo na de ni bi wow push wow. And no all you need is twice a week. Just to build the muscle. But in terms of the real aerobic no na we hear more of. Until anybody be brain no, hear more of the strength building exercise. Until we say, obi your habo so you well built, you wapa, and so you can't ahoɔden pa, ahoɔden in terms of health, overall health, on your healthy. Because the cardiovascular strength na any ho. In this half only be utimi cash no we building muscle no at the expense of the overall cardiovascular system. And until moment the upside down, more aerobic and less strength building. And I feel so as I see you taking exercise breaks throughout the day. Every day be so what you man as I say try say during your lunchtime didn't spare 10-15 minutes be never konante. And as I say need lunch power break period no konante. And also betting sorry. Ewo baby out in wakonya mu ha na wagina wagina faako na we move sa, but we need to take exercise breaks throughout the day. Intimidi manu AC no die yahwe nyina e kire yen se ye betimi aye a plan se ne meka no mfitiase no a se ye ni plan ni bia I'm sure said ye yesua should be enough to let us know says if we are not doing it, we are missing out a lot. Intini nyame mo aye ni intimi make plan said the beya you betimi anya all these benefits. Na yetimi ama movement and as exercise no aye real medicine. A be preventive medicine ama yen. E chen say ye be train na ya yare ansa na ya hwehwe ano adru. Se ne trosem eka no. Onyame nhihye ye ne say opese ye nya apomudin na esi ye ni pedua ne ye kra yi medamase. Mano esi. Afei sɛ nsɛmbisa bi wɔ hɔ nom a yɛbɛtumi ade aba.
Yɛda wase bebree na menhyira wo sɛ nsɛm a wɔde ama yɛ no deɛ mu ɔdu na ɛm sɛ nso so yɛbɛtu ho anammɔn yɛdi ho fo bebree nti ɛsɛ yɛn nso yɛhyɛ ase na yɛtu anammɔn sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a yɛbɛtumi ama yɛn nipadua no nso so ahoɔden aba mu nti no sɛnea dɔkta kan no wɔsɛ sisi a de wɔde session no aba na wieɛ nti sɛ yɛwɔ questions bi wɔ hɔnom a yɛbɛtumi abisa nti yɛbɛhyɛ aseɛ na yɛbisa some questions bi a yɛbɛgye questions bɛyɛ three anaa four bi na kyerɛ sɛ yɛde ɛna dwumadie no aba na wieɛ nti sɛsi a no kwan abie nti sɛ obi wɔ asɛmbisa bi a
na
ɔpɛ
wɔsɛ
sɛ
mpɛtɛm
obisa
wɔsɛ
yo ɔpɛ ne Jeremiah ɛne
Doc, me deɛ na mfa sɛ ɛmienu baako ne sɛ sɛ wodidi yie deɛ ne a ɔka sɛ yɛni nyinaa no sɛ yɛtumi didi yie ne yɛanyɛ exercise a ɛtumi ɛmakye ne apa na two this week anaasɛ this week mehu ayi bi a boxer bi a ɔko wɔ yi a yɛ friends Ghana ɔmɔko yɛamɔ no koraa na obuhwie ɔno nso wotumi sɛ wayɛyerɛ ɔyɛ exercise kama nti no ɛba ne sɛ na ɔbɛyɛ exercise na watumi abu ahwe saa.
Okay. Yo. The edi kan no sɛ we are what we eat. Inti apomuden nyinaa no the foundation and what you eat, what goes in. Sɛ ne ɛno ameka no you did 3 times a day. Inti o multiplier you did bebree. Inti aduane no deɛ ɛyɛ key. Sɛ obi edidi yie asɛm oyi mpɛ sɛ mɛka but ɛyɛ scientific exercise in yɛyɛ nti na ɛsɛ yɛ unbiased. So wodidi yie paa na wanyɛ exercise a woyɛ better off than obi a onnidi yie na ɔyɛ exercise bebree, which means sɛ even though anim yɛ no nyinaa nyɛ no obi a odidi yie na ɔnyɛ exercise koraa no ɔyɛ better kyɛn obi a odi aduane a ɛnyɛ na ɔyɛ exercise. Deɛ nti ne deɛ bɛkyerɛkyerɛ mu mpitiaseɛ no sɛ nneɛma bi wɔ nnuane no mu a ɛkɔɔ so biochemical changes wɔ nipadua no in terms of inflammation and the initiation promotion and of cancer ne autoimmune diseases ne ade because of nneɛma a ɛwɔ nnuane mu a exercise ntumi enyi mfiri aduane no ntumi nyi mfiri nipadua no ɛno nti ɛna ɛte saa. But sɛ woyɛ obi a wodidi yie na wanyɛ exercise a sanka ebi a wobɛtumi anyini adu bɛɛ example ebi 100 a wobɛtumi ate wo nkwa na so because of lack of exercise. Enti no sɛ wodidi yie na sɛ wode exercise ne ka ho a na wa optimize o longevity ɛne w'ahoɔden sɛnea wo nipadua no bɛnya ahoɔden atumi ayɛ deɛ ɛsɛ sɛ yɛ no wo optimize no with exercise. Nti ɛte sɛ deɛ wasɔ gya na wabɛhwie gasoline agu so a wabɛhwie petrol agu so na adɛ. Ɛdi sɛ wodidi yie a ɛte sɛ wasɔ gya ba ehia sɛ wohwie petrol gu so ɛno ne exercise no ɛbɛma no awie pɛyɛ no ɛno nti na ɛyɛ sɛ yi nyinaa yɛbɛyɛ exercise no ɛna saa boxer na ɔte hwee no in fact ɛno deɛ ɛtɛɛ si yɛ wɔ a lot of young athletes bi wɔ hɔ a wɔmutumi atwa hwe na ɛno no deɛ ɛɛden sɛ mehu because ebi wɔ hɔ nom a na wɔn wɔ heart problems bi ɛwɔ hɔ yɛwɔ yareɛ bebree wɔ hɔ nom a ɛyɛ congenital asɛ yɛde wo no yareɛ bi wɔ hɔ nom a ebi wɔ hɔ nom a yɛfrɛ no sɛ hypertrophic cardiomyopathy na asɛ n'akoma no nso akoma no ayɛ sɛ heart no emu akyɛ 4 na 4 no muscles no a ɛwɔ aseɛ no the 2 chambers na ɛwɔ aseɛ no muscles no yɛ thicker than the chambers mmienu na ɛwɔ soro no a na obi wɔ hɔ nom a ɛna mfimfini sei no yɛwɔ biribi wɔ hɔ nom a ɛkyɛ akoma no basically ɛkyɛ mu 2 ansa na emu asa akyɛ 2 by the valves no ɛna ɛkyɛ mu 2 ɛma no yɛ 4 na mfimfini no deɛ ɛwɔ mu no a yɛfrɛ no septum no a ɛkyɛ akoma no mu into left side and the right side and the left side of the heart no obi wɔ hɔ nom a ɔyare bi a saa ɛno no ɛyɛ thick ɛno no ɛna ɛyɛ nti ɛnam sɛ ayɛ thick no nti ama akoma no ayɛ dendenden bi saa nti akoma no ɛbɔ mu a ɛde force ayɛ sɛ ɛnya kwan ɛnya space ɛna ɛtumi de contract ɛte sɛ bɛnto a umia bɛnto a biribi anim no umia a wobɛhu sɛ ɛyɛ soft kama wotumi mia na imagine sɛ wode biribi wode bɛnto a no de nsuo agum na wasɔ ano dendenden na wo try sɛ wobɛmia umia bo sɛ na ayɛ pɔsee wo squeeze gye sɛ nsuo no pie afi saa pɛpɛɛpɛ nti no saafoɔ no womakoma no ayɛ stiff nti ɛyɛ nyinaa no ɛyɛ excess load na womakoma no so nti wobɛhu sɛ young athlete ebi a basketball player football player na bɛtwa hwe most of them no ɛyɛ saa a friend is say hypertrophic cardiomyopathy na ɛtaa yɛ congenital obi wɔ hɔ a na yɛde aworo na yɛ problem nti ebi a na ɔwɔ heart problem bi na yɛnni ɛna ɛtumi akɔ so saa.
Doc, that's a bebree. Let me show. I'm saying obi nso the question be about I was say let me read it out. Okay, here. What's my question is it okay to add fruit to green smoothies? If so, which fruits are ideal?
Okay.
And then the second one was, is it okay to drink green smoothies on empty stomach? I'm saying questions me no independence so area banana.
Okay. I'm saying right smoothies no question by. Now say smoothies no aduane o because usually ya na vegetables no and I say fruits and yeah and no. You know, on empty stomach there's nothing stopping you from drinking it is woody fruits on an empty stomach. Bibia ni hono ma stop say wo empty stomach a untimi enni fruit anase untimi enni smoothie ubetimi edi ntino ano no de bibia nsi ho kwan and fruits and green smoothies no and no won sa wohwe adin commission ngoma no a councils on diet food and health now see me for fruits and fried vegetables. Now there's a reason for that. The reason is say vegetables composition no any sugar na what fruits no most fruits with sugar fructose no any vegetable no o the mixer the digestion enko yie enti me say obetimi pa dia ense say o de fra especially say o ye smoothie because smoothie no the difference between smoothie and juicing ne say o ye juicing na utimi juice we na wa yi clear liquid na eye phytochemicals no na wa yi pulp ne fiber ni nyina afrim pulp ne fiber no eno no impact digestion and say o juice vegetables no now we greens vegetable no juice no kwa without the pulp next utimi juice fruit bi to say apple so now we juice no kwa now the fra and no research actually say no the problem but say the whole fruit no with the fiber and everything no fra vegetables no with all the fiber and everything now we am fra and no create digestive issues na ho no na din come say my yam for fruits and vegetables fra this is what you do is say obe affect the digestion in your gut obe affect the microbiome composition microbiome is a bacteria na we ensuno no as I say a year within a certain composition na say o de frafra saa o de asichire ene niema no asichire nuane ene vegetables no fra will be affect digestion. Intina any good idea. Yes, sir. Ubedi fruits separate. Now what the vegetables separate. It is a who eat smoothie now. And so you all fruit smoothie. And I say oh you green smoothies. So I say you all vegetable smoothie. Most of the time the entire aromatari fruits. It's a apple, green apples, no matter the green smoothie. No matter the fran and they say, no more say yet day. So and only o concern obetimi the apple obetimi the carrots carrots and so a carrot are you good at no and no bit you so even though there but a typical fruit a vegetable into the difference the way the body processing it differently into the entrance here and science separating in use the vegetables separately and use the fruits separately.
Okay, that's a very. So beside my question, I was say, well, high blood pressure and or diabetes and so. Now, exercise, send our kind of exercise, very good. And before or be engage in any exercise activities, so when a doctor now or man acquire say 1 year, now say on one bit my chassis say or bit my exercise.
Okay, exercise the type of exercise I'll tell you. I can say on authority say here doctor bia permission and I say doctor bia go ahead and sign a wash as yes or unless of course say bia or diabetes so I so bad say when you're diabetic foot ulcer or 9 you crow into no crow no try so be treating na nti wo de konante ai bia na wakokos problem this is sad ya and you here strict guidance and son why but say ekron to now 9 okay now wo ahodi ya here doctor bia permission and son was started simple exercises say wo nante de bia improve or muscle coordination or muscle how I optimize your muscle no any blood flow into you no there be yet number 2 so we exercise say rigorous exercise let's say heart problem bia now or diabetes no affect your heart na create problems be with your nerves near there and no there as say who doctor now doctor no guide you bia na why so vigorous exercise or make sure say there be because of A, B, C, D, all condition, when you don't this type of exercise, so this type of exercise. But so we need some problems, we move beyond there. And you be and see who can say, we be start exercise, we be start it.
That's it.
After you think a question back on.
You're a patch me.
Yo, doctor, that's a pan in church. There's a many just animal when who ban many just my question is aerobic exercise, winter time, and also you spoke say I'm calling number bontain for almost 30 to 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And you from now winter time, correct me if would it be say can we substitute say instead of say I wouldn't you bet me a treadmill and anti for 30 to 60 minutes instead of say ebia yeah calling for 30 to 60 minutes just to achieve that aerobic exercise for 5
so
to 7 minutes.
treadmill yes we bet my aerobic exercise with it with treadmill we bet me but there is something very special about fresh air as opposed to indoor air quality the air quality the same indoor air quality it doesn't matter how well you try to keep it can be an BBF and say particulate matter me say ochine nyambo a ye beka ho asem na me hwe o there be nya ochina in about 3 or 4 days ye beka me what topic be a friend say breathe right e dru ho a ye beka no ho asem indoor air quality ye beka ho asem but and I'm saying abontin die no ye better than even though treadmill winter bar so try so be but so betting abontin you don't have to spend the 30 or the 60 minutes in hour but say 10 minutes kwana betting abontin akwa 90 no when you fresh air na a better chance so we be indoors because of the simple fact say ukwa abontin na kunya abontin fresh air no and no eboa improve o cardiovascular status and nti na here as abontin de obetimi akonti wa hwa abrofo no so wo baby abrofo wo kese abonu say emfa ho the weather this be a snowstorm ba na say be a hurricane bi ba tem bia no be abrofo no mu na abontin no mu tumika ana so omunem obe hye no ho it what you have to do no say esa wo dress appropriately wo hye wo ho yie na kwabonti na konanti. Now what the beautiful thing in say so share exercise yes now you know fear. Who say cold tolerance kra no ebekosoro because what optimize your cardiovascular system ne blood vessels no ne muscles no say na medical can in such a way say machine no ni pedua machine we now is so efficient and you who say ubetimi akwa awo no mu but body no produce enough heat because the machine now is so efficient they say ubetimi akom onti awo se ne yesa ote no. But of course, and only interest is how can I go feed it. No, no inside now anytime we are whether any year tolerable kakre binu pia no kwabontin na konanti kakra na bra back in. So untimi nye 30 minutes na 60 minutes in our outer. Kakre bi abetimi aye bia no a better than nothing.
Me second question so yeah. Me share that yeah Kanye pepper ne lemon. And on what do you think about it? Me did you say utum so what did you na aduane na hye wofu wo ho kyerɛ kakra. Me the Kanye pepper.
So question no when you
Hello. But me tweet also.
Aye.
Me udidi na wafu me fu tumi hye sa afi me ya me the Kanye pepper obi na kyerɛ me sa. E Colorado na me te ho no. On the Colorado na outdoor state. Amanfo bebree exercise a wo kyerɛ me say Kanye pepper and a lemon. Udidi na ho kyerɛ bia untumi ya unum a and it's true. Me pese me hu say beneficial and I say minya because I'm part say me num wi a enche bia wo say you have to defecate it out na wa ho atɔ kama. Na no a good year na practice ana.
Me my question I say papa o say no ma eboa ma we dey ukwati afi na say eboa ma.
Yeah. Yes, for the lack of better words. Yes, TFI. On say udidi na I say what did you mean? Instead of so kwakoda na wafu ahye na odi adasa no gat aye amasa no. Me de Kanye pepper any lemon me chim nkatwade no na me de Kanye pepper na guso na ma mix it na ma nom ne guna me nom wie a e wo ho abu say within a few a year maybe at 30 minutes no I will go na me kwati afi na me ho chese me yam ayi ni nyina ye den ayi ko na no is there any beneficial ayi to it and as I'm just eliminating it be something enzyme bi o me yam kura bi a beneficial to me I may eliminate ni nyina kwa na say yi bi a me ntwa so.
Cayenne pepper no say unse cayenne pepper no a draw in the sense say what chemical be compound be my friend capsaicin. So capsaicin no no etimi min kind sense na me who for lack of a better word as etimi irritate irritant in this unum a unse pere bi a even Ghana cry so odi meko ama afa ne yam udi meko a shipa etimi fa yam because of that irritant property of capsaicin no in the capsaicin no na kwa yam a irritate you and irritation no and ipedua no empesa irritation no and whatever is going on he has to get it out and ipedua should get that irritant no to say there what the poison dia begu ipedua society way they shouldn't stay here now we're pushing it out and that could be I'm not very sure but I'm just deduction you nim say capsaicin it me yes sir and it could be say capsaicin no cause irritation in the gut and as a result stimulating contractions our friend say peristalsis no and o de o kwati afi lemon so de yenim say vitamin C and say uchi lemon gum na onom a eno no so etimi soften because vitamin C na kwa wonsunu mu a reaction be take place and this mucus membrane na wo yam no etimi come together form a reaction bi a boa ma wonsunu mu ego it is the wadi anka so udi anka a kwa yam ma yam ego and also reaction but the combination of lemon and capsaicin no dey mean she dey nim bibia e kire se o kanim yinu bom a ebetimi ayesa bia na anka no nko akra betimi aye lemon ne betimi aye na anka ne betimi aye but capsaicin no dey what I know no say it could be that irritating property of capsaicin no mu no aye no mu no na yes sir But if you do a man say any idea a good idea because capsaicin because a bit irritant. In this oh yeah man bro so a bit me a cause problem, a bit me a stimulate heartburn. No, a bit me cause acid reflux. Your heartburn no. And a bit me a cause problem in some people. Ni baby or no more. More ulcers na gastric ulcers are too much of that capsaicin irritant. A bit me a man I worse. Ain't no so you're careful. Now we bit me a better option. A better option than say who did who need a man moroso. Who did at 80% full no way. And now before I obey now the 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar go consume no one 30 minutes before a meal. We are sa ebe digestion no ebe boa ma emma aduane no enhye yem sa udi ya na ebe digest yi ama no akọ no why free.
Melase.
Dr. Edase Bebre.
Yeah.
I'm saying, a question back on a session here, baby. No, say, Doctor, your boy also. To Dr. Bois, who question be episode de Ebana.
Dabi sɛ deɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛsua.
Okay. Yo. Yeah, you bet you one last question. Now, yeah, this session about you. Yo, one question be obi person obi sa someone.
Pacho, my question.
Okay.
Pacho said,
Manonkwai.
assuming you have a history of ulcer, who suggested say you can put a teaspoon of apple cider in water and drink 30 minutes before meal. Is there an alternative to that if you have a history of ulcer?
Yes. So history of ulcer and no enyemwa. If you want history of ulcer instead of apple cider vinegar no odie ebeye aloe vera juice. And no dear you don't need 2 teaspoons. You need about half a glass of aloe vera juice. And I'll be before the meal. And non crown so dear you don't really have to do it before the meal. The reason why apple cider vinegar no before the meal and they say person will impact the whole digestive process. Now we impact fat absorption and fat metabolism. Now apple cider vinegar no a set of a mechanism be process be or nipeduano in terms of digestion. A boama digestion cause you and a 2 a boama nipeduano a use of fat no within parameters be obey use just what it needs and then burn off the rest. And my own absorb excess fat and then number 3, so excess fat will liver moon so apple cider vinegar no a reaction na ebe set it off no it dissolve no. Japanese scientists na yes are researching. Now we say oh yeah no in 3 months no now we lose 5 pounds of liver visceral fat, which is a lot. 5 pounds from the liver is enough to move somebody from pre-diabetes to free. And as they move will be from insulin resistance to insulin sensitive. Oh, in nothing you use apple cider vinegar. But say if the any ulcer there, then what you are seeking to do is to try and heal the ulcer. In the wood and aloe vera juice after the meal. And preferably on an empty stomach. Because aloe vera juice a quart without food, it will have time without any interference from food. Now, etini abwa, heal the lining of the gut. Now, abwa in the production of bicarbonate. Bicarbonate, and on unsuno no edi yusu edi heal itself. And on quite sa amamaya a war unsuno no more a protecting. One say, some kaya Ghana, yesusana na yesano. Oko sa. One say bedroom ready na feel one say tiefi na eba nyina akoye sa amaman ya no mo say oh makoyi mi yema amaman nyina ma ye free enye healthy so we you yema amaman nyina because amaman na wo ho no e wo ho for a reason ɛbɔ yɛn ho ban nti obit me mene kase obo se na kwa no wasa sebi no wasa ne aba because amaman no sa mucus no ma onsuno no mu no yɛ tro in such a way say kase ni ntimi mpiese no they are very protective na se wo ulcer you want to build on that mucous membrane no and aloe vera juice a bit me aboa on an empty stomach.
Yo, Doctor, yeah, that's a bit brave. I'm say yeah, the session on the baby, yeah, it's a time difference in it.
Na boss we dey friends or wife apagya ne sentin pacho. Ai pacho.
Yo, but I sell that. Doc, yeah, that's a bebre. My question in the kutwebi. Pacho, apple, apple cider no. You bet me the lemon juice afra because I am the lemon juice and a baby am the warm water. Na lemon juice na apple cider ni be afra no na say we no separate. We lemon juice ni free pacho.
Apple cider vinegar. Yeah, so we lemon juice ni free. So yeah, separate.
Okay, yeah.
Lemon juice no betimi aye no nkwan so no wachi lemon juice na gunsuo no anom another time and that's a different time. But so the apple cider vinegar and lemon ni fra na dey a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, separate. And yes, I will be creating acid be.
Okay. Yeah. But that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yo, Doc, yeah, that's a bit brave. I mean, sure, say, or say what that na when yeah, chicken como anyway. Nti sabre yeah nche hono maybe sa open Jeremiah say wo as question bi na say wo asim bi apese wo de emaye ne ansana ya bompa ye ne de adwuma na bawie.
Well na bibie ne hosa doc ne den as nyame enhyirawo ene ye friends adofo mo besra nyina nyame enhyira mo ai we yetwa mu akosi nyambo afiada tiesre mo de link ama mo no mo mmra so na mo betie efa mo ye ho ban Dr. Ebon so yeda ase yeda mo nyina ase
Say sabre ye bema Dr. Fresla also from Pong abo mpaye na wode adwuma yi abanawie amaye.
Yeah, sorry, I say over Juma Muntino, may take you over na my bumpire namano. And say, are you okay with a sorry penny for the may bumpire no? Nature say, the query yet.
ye pa so yake mo nyina mo ye ba kuntie okay pa
Mummy mumpire. So, here, that was beam. So, what doctor, so note me, Adum ye nature say. May and new my ye, na yet to me a little longer. Throughout the whole week, he still so be man in him, dear, be na dream. Na yen so asore ma ye tie no, yen so yetumi edi so, sene be ya, ye betumi edi ye ho so ahwe the temple of God. Because ye gidi say, ye nipadua no, eye wo Nyankopɔn wasɔre ɛdan. Bua yen ka ye ho, ni yetumi ni so, sene be ye be hye wo din animuonyam. Ɛwɔ yɛn Agya Yesu Kristo din mu nti. Amen.
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 man